Hello, everybody. So, welcome back to the Sunfire Fire channel. Um, I I wanted to talk about how um spirituality and stuff like that, spirituality, spiritual energy. Um, is it a hoax or not? Not necessarily. I don't think so. Um, the reason why I'm talking about this is because one, I is the reason why I'm talking about this because one, I have been lately watching so many compilations on YouTube of psychic fails, and it's hilarious. Well, not hilarious like haha. It's just like, oh, I see you. I see. Okay, and two, it's just like I think spiritual energy is real. I mean, that's the whole reason why we watch the Avatar. That's the whole reason why we watch the Avatar, right? Avatar: The Last Airbender, Avatar: The Legend of Korra. Yeah. Um, but no, I mean, like, when I do yoga, I feel it. That's the whole reason why people do yoga. That's the whole reason why people do Tai Chi. It's because we want to align our chakras. And it like when I do a 20-minute session or like a 15-minute session of yoga, I feel so much better, and I can feel the movement in my body. Like when I meditate, I can feel the light flowing through my body or something. I love it. And it's also, not to mention, it's also really good physical therapy. Well, not physical therapy, occupational therapy. I don't really know. But it's really good because yeah, like I sometimes do standing positions, like mountain pose, like when you're basically standing with your arms open and your eyes are closed. And since I have ataxia, I couldn't really do that up until like 2 years ago, because my brain is still, even after like 20 years, my brain's still healing from the trauma that it had. And yeah, so I can stand with my eyes closed now. That's big. I've never done that. Like, I feel like I'm falling. So when I close my when I close my eyes, I used to feel like I was falling, and then I was just I wasn't really sure if I was actually falling or if I was just feeling my brain was still not right, and it felt like I was falling. But so one time I just kept my eyes closed a little longer, and I actually was, and and I fell down because I well, I didn't fall down, but like the sensation of my brain telling me you're falling got grew and grew, and then I was just like, oh, I am actually falling, because my brain was just not trained to stay when it can't see anything, when my eyes are off. So in my brain was still programmed to see, wasn't retrained to see, to understand that when your eyes are closed, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to fall down, that you're not doing anything. And like, so that was really big. I even told my friend about that. Like, yeah, I can stand with my eyes closed. That's big. I told my mom, And obviously my neurologist, he was great with that, because if you've ever been to a neurologist, they make you walk in a straight line, toe to heel, and they always do that. Touch your nose, touch my finger, touch your nose, touch my finger, up here, do up here, and it's just like, it's a lot. So, what was I talking about? I was talking about spirituality. So, I feel like it's okay to be skeptical of psychics, but at the same time, I feel like both sides of the argument of spirituality and spiritual energy and mediums and clairvoyance and stuff, I don't know. Like, I feel like both of them are in the wrong, because like at the same, because one, I feel like the public is skeptical, and because I feel like the public is skeptical because obviously most people aren't don't have any spiritual ability, and two, sometimes, and people are want to have want to know something about their future, and like, how do people want to be prepared for the future. No one obviously wants an inconvenient truth about their future, like, oh, this bad thing is going to happen to you in the future, so they're just like, tell me about the good things that's going to happen in my future. And it's just, and also I feel like, on the psychic side, I feel like being psychic, being spiritual, and being medium and being a clairvoyant are totally different types of spiritual beings. I mean, spiritual energies. That, like, a medium can talk to the dead. A psychic, I feel like, can a little more spiritual for some reason, and like, well, they're all spiritual. Clairvoyant can see into the future, and I feel like fortune tellers just, yeah, actually, I don't believe in them. I don't believe in fortune tellers. But that's a clairvoyant. But I feel like a clairvoyant and fortune teller are two different. A fortune teller is someone that I feel like you see at a carnival. Clairvoyant is like someone who can see the future, but I feel like they can see it to extent. All of these people, I feel like they can do these to an extent, because there are some people with more spirituality than the average person. It's just like how some people can have more of more emotional intelligence than another person. Like, a person can read a person without even not even talking to them, or they can read a situation without even being involved in it. But the bad thing is that there are so many people who love to milk that occupation, that make that in turn makes a lot of people skeptical, and then they want people to believe they are real, so they tell them what they want to hear. They tell the public what they want to hear, and it's like, that's what you get in those cold readings. Like, if you ever see like John Edwards, you know, that episode of South Park where John Edwards is there. he does that a lot. Like, I'm getting a J, I'm getting a T, I'm getting a S, it's like, I'm getting a James. Does anyone know a James? That's the most common, that's one of the most common English names. And it's just like, I'm pretty sure someone knows a James. Someone has met a James in their lifetime. And that's the thing that really that's the thing that really makes people skeptical, because it's just like, and then they like to say, oh, this person died, and then it's like, no, that person's still alive. I mean, they're sitting right next to me. And that's why no one really likes them. But like, I do believe in spiritual energy. I do believe people have spiritual energy. It's just that when people the thing is, the public wants to hear what they want to hear. They don't want to hear any bad things. It's just and then that's what gives into the ego of the spiritual worker. And so then they think, I'm so powerful. I'm an all being. I mean, it's to an extent, honey, to an extent. I mean, you may even have a little more spiritual energy than other people, but it's still weird. It's still, you're still human. And that's basically what I wanted to say today. Would I ever go to a tarot card reading or something like that? No, because I ain't got time to spend money like that. And even people who even astrologists, or what are they called? I think that's what they're called. The people who do the signs of the months, those people, though, they're just like, they're kind of, they say vague things about themselves. Like, Leos are loyal. Because I'm a Leo, I'm just gonna use that. Leos are, in Cancer, because my mom's a Cancer, and our birthdays are like literally 4 days apart from each other. She's right on the Cancer line, and I'm like 4 days after the Cancer line. So it's just like, Leos are very loyal. Leos are a little emotional. Cancers are very motherly. Cancers are very emotional. And it's just like, wait, motherly is kind of like loyalty in a way, because you're loyal to your child, you're loyal to the people that you're taking care of. And it's just like, well, I mean, I'm very emotional. And then you got the Taurus, who's like, who's kind of stubborn, butt-headed, and like doesn't, and it's just like, but Leos are also stubborn too, because Leos are the lions, and they always want to be king. So yeah, it's very vague. It's a lot of the stuff that you hear is very vague, and that's why I don't deal with it. My mom, she loves to read her astrology. She goes to different sites to read her astrology. Do I think it's a little weird? Yes. But I mean, she's only going on different websites to see, like, she goes on several different websites like almost every day to see what everyone says about Cancer, and about a Cancer. And it's just like, and like, do I think it's a little weird? Do I think it's a little time consuming? Yes. But I'm gonna let her do what she wants to do, because I mean, if she was like giving hundreds of dollars, to astrologists just to read her fortune, I'm just like, I would be like, Mom, you need to stop. And that's the thing too. A lot of these spiritual spiritual occupational workers take advantage. Like $1,000 for this, $1,000 for water that's basically has like salt in there. Like a lot of them say I can cure cancer, or like they say I'm the second coming of, once you say I'm the second coming of Jesus, then something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. I've even heard one person say I am Allah, and I'm just like, if you don't know, that's Allah. Allah is God. If you're a Muslim, then you probably already know that, but it is, I'm just like, are you kidding me? You can't. And it's just like, because if you make a claim like that, you gotta back it up. Like when you make a big claim like that, like the ones who probably who probably do have some spiritual energy, and more spiritual energy than the average person, they probably don't go and flaunt it like a lot of others do. Because usually I would know that a lot of people would be skeptical of me, and so I wouldn't try to flaunt it and try to take advantage of people. Like like I remember there was this woman on Montel Williams. She was a usual guest. She would always tell people about their missing or dead family members. And I was watching the clip because I was watching a lot of compilations of videos on YouTube about psychic fails, and she was just like, a mom asked her, what happened to my child? She just died. What happened? I want to know how my child died. And she was like, well, she was shot. And it's like, but the parents were just like looking at her like, really? And they were like, but she just collapsed and died. And it's just like, well, that's what I'm seeing. And it's just like, why are you trying to tell the parents how their daughter died when they saw their daughter die and they know how she died? And that's what I saw from a lot of those psychic fails. They were telling people like, no, I don't. A lot of the people who in those cold readings were just like, in the audience, who were just like, no, I don't think that ever happened to me. And she was like, well, and all of them were just like, well, that's what I'm getting. That happened. It's like, and they're just like, no, it never happened. So like, and like, they're trying to tell them about their own lives when it's just like, we just met today. You almost don't, you never even asked my name. How are you telling me that you know more about my family than I do? And it's like, and also they just keep talking and talking until one time they get it right. And it's just like, you got one right out of like 60 questions you asked them. So, and you wonder why people are so skeptical of you. It sounds like a huge scam. And you're paying, and like, some people can spend up to like like $50,000. I even saw one man who spent $52,000 on some really extra stuff that didn't need to be done. And what happened? The psychic took off. She was never he never found her, but I mean, he went on the news, and so they found her. But yeah, it's just, you're using your spirituality. If you do have spirituality powers, you're using it very incorrectly. You're misusing it. And it's just like, you probably even lost it. Or you probably just don't even know how to use it, and you think you're all that in a bag of chips when you're not. So that's all the what I have today, because even with Tai Chi, it's like I did Tai Chi one time, and I, you know how you do this, then you can even feel a ball of energy just circle, and it's like spiritual energy is real. It's everywhere around us, but it's just like when you abuse it, then that's to the point where no one's going to think it's real. And that's sad, because we should be aware of our spiritual surroundings. But no one wants to be aware because they don't want to be taken as an idiot. That's all I have for today. Peace.